So the project started about 2 years ago, nearly. It started initially as a very kind of short-term project, a little 3-month photography project. And from there it's really grown and it's been very kind of popular and successful, so we've done lots of projects since then. The initial objective was to kind of engage with this new community, so a community of veterans, and get to know that community a little bit better and understand the people within that community. The group meet every week here at FACT and we work on different projects alongside artists.
Yeah, my name's Brett Squires. I've done 15 years in the army, in the infantry. I went to Liverpool Veterans Headquarters for help and they referred me to the FACT project. It just gave me a little bit of motivation to get up in the daytime, basically. Well, not to get up because I was up anyway, but I mean that little motivation to stop drinking and get out and meet people. Before I got involved with the project, I was doing nothing, to tell you the truth.
So it was completely new to you, yeah?
All of it was, I never even knew FACT existed, to tell you the truth. I didn't know nothing about computers before I started this. Well, firstly, it's got me out there. It probably saved me, to tell you the truth, because I was just drinking myself to death. I was drinking bottles and bottles of brandy, but now, you know, I don't touch the spirits now. I've got a job out of it. I've met new people, you know, the lads who I've met on the project, you know, we've all become mates and we see each other outside the project and, you know, have a laugh. It's given me a little bit more confidence back, especially, you know, working with the people and stuff, and I've enjoyed it.
My name's Alan Kelly and I'm a veteran having done army service. I was part of a community group prior to this, and while I was working at BNEC in Breckfield Road, which is a local community, I was informed that there was a veterans group starting, and as I was, as an ex-soldier, I automatically sort of just joined.
I served 5 years in Northern Ireland, Bosnia, Kosovo. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all my time in the army, apart from the last bit coming out. I was medical discharged. I was in a military hospital for 18 months. Got medical discharged, and that was it. It was a big, massive. It was a shock, to tell you the truth.
It's hard to evaluate really, because at the time you take it as it comes. I did anyway. Unfortunately for me, I found myself very adaptable. So it's only looking back now, people say, oh, you know, you look upon it different today. But I've got to say, when I joined the army in 1953, it's a long time ago, Korea was still going, Malaya, there was still an awful lot of local wars going on around the world where the Brits were involved in. But we took it, that's what you were there for, as it were, you know. I've been to places where shots have been fired, you know, and but that's about it for me. But people that did know had been killed in Korea and whatever, even in the Suez crisis, a good mate of mine got killed with that one, you know, so.
Depression and post-traumatic stress disorder are common mental health problems faced by returning troops. PTSD symptoms can include recurring nightmares about traumatic events, hesitation to discuss traumatic events, or difficulty sleeping or performing normal tasks.
There's a profile of veterans, and pretty much all of these guys fit into that. They will all be roughly kind of at the same age, so sort of middle age onwards, sort of late 30s upwards, have served kind of anywhere from sort of 3 years to about 10 years. Some will have had combat experience, some of them won't have, but all of them pretty much will have had an experience of transitioning from the military to civilian life and not doing particularly brilliantly at that.
My age, I tend to look up on it, oh yeah, you know, but the more I'm with this group, the more I realise people have suffered, you know, and are still continue to suffer. I did think it was a little bit in the army, you know, we used to call it malingering, you know, get on with it, what's the matter with you? But I realise now that there are issues that need to be addressed, even because I've met them in this group.
Some of them have had PTSD, or some of them are struggling with PTSD as, you know, as they are in the group. Some of them will have alcohol, substance misuse problems, homelessness, experiences of homelessness.
Well, after that, I lived on the streets for a bit because I had nowhere to live. I lived on the streets for 9 months. Then I met this lad. I was in the hospital with him and he was in sound. And he took me to his, gave me a bath and he let me have a shower and all that, like, and he put me in touch with the right people. I got myself sorted, got myself a little flat, man.
The majority of the guys are fairly isolated, so there's a lack of kind of family and friendship groups.
Because now I'm in a room, well, I'm in a flat on my own, and I'm just sit there and go, fucking, is this what civvies do overnight? Just sit in a fucking room and watch telly.
I think talking with the fellas, got different experiences in the military, and there's a certain amount of barrack room humour, for want of a better phrase, which is black humour in effect. And it's all come out, and even though I'm 78 now, I can still relate to, you know, the story we can tell about, as I say, barrack room humour. So that's been good. So you learn, you know, about, and the different age groups, of course, but we all sort of gel together. Strange to say. As I say, the youngest is about 30 and I'm the oldest at the moment, but it's gone very well.
It gets you out and meet some of that, you know, at first I was a bit thingy, but then I thought, no, it's other lads, who's been in the same situation as yourself.
The biggest thing is that they're in amongst people that kind of are like-minded and they get each other. There's a sense of humour that, as an ex-forces person myself, only kind of exists in the military and doesn't kind of fit too well a lot of the times with the civilian population. Yeah. So when they're together, they relax basically. They feel at ease with each other. They have similar kind of backgrounds, similar shared jokes and experiences. They rip into each other. They take the mickey out of each other, but they also support each other, which is kind of like one of the nicest things to see. I think the military doesn't sort of kind of encourage people to go, oh, you look like you've had a bad day today, I'll give you a hug. Yeah. You know, it doesn't do that, it does it in its own way, and that, you know, you can see that happening.
I think the happiest thing was when I won Best Recruit when I was in training, when there was like 70 of us joined up. Yeah. Some people left by the end of it, like, but and I got Best Recruit, so I was like, that was like one of my proudest moments, to say the truth. But some of the funniest stuff is just, there was just funny times. You had some shit times, but you had most of it was proper funny. It was just banter of a night time in the block. Just stupid things, and you just miss all that, you know.
The group has done a number of projects over the last couple of years, most notably their involvement in the Battle of the Atlantic project.
And creative writing. From there we've done webcast discussions about the issues around transition. We've worked on documentaries about alternative therapies and their use for veterans. We made a documentary last year with Battle of the Atlantic veterans, which was a great project. And at the moment the group are working on a website project for veterans in Liverpool, which is a really interesting project because it's so kind of current and needed, and the group are obviously really kind of passionate about it, so it's a great project.
The project we done, the Battle of the Atlantic project, I love doing that because we were talking to, we were veterans, interviewing veterans from a different war, do you know what I mean? And it was fun, it was great, enjoyed doing that.
You'd say that's been the highlight for you, yeah?
Yeah, I would imagine that one. It has been good, we've done some good projects, but that was the one that sticks out for me. Because they were telling you stories, you were telling them stories, and you know, it was just good, it was just good banter.
We've done a lot of video speaking, you know, interviewing techniques and whatever. Then we've done various projects. One of them was a rather long one on alternative medicines, you know, with a girl from America actually. And we've also done a little bit of animation prior to this, more of a fun thing, but it was only a very short one, but I began to realise then how much work goes in for 1 minute animation. It's quite a lot, you know, but again, very interesting.
We're doing a website for Liverpool veterans. Well, it's going to be called Liverpool Veterans. And at the moment, we're currently working on animations to go onto the website about the transition from military into Civvy Street. I think we've got a couple of projects in the pipeline, like enough to keep us busy for a couple of years.
Currently, the group have been working on an animation project. Project artist Babus has been walking them through the entire process of creating an animation.
What we were asked to do, produce, is basically points in our life from school to the present day. So I particularly we put a school drawing, a military drawing, then which was represented by a tank, and then came out and one of the first jobs I got was a bus driver, so put a bus on it. And then the last one was a house and an armchair with me in it, being my age, retired. So.
Along with Alan's animations, a number of the group have made great strides with their own animations. What is great about this is how personal some of the projects are. Joe is a photographer and his project has been inspired by this. While Andy's is inspired by his interest in the Ouroboros, an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon eating its own tail.
Would you recommend the project to any veterans in the area?
Oh God, yeah, completely. I think what Fact are doing here is fairly unique in what I understand in terms of creativity, particularly digital creativity. Yeah. I don't know of anybody else in the country that's doing this type of work. From my research, and I look to America and Canada and Australia really for how they're kind of interacting with veterans. Even comparatively speaking, I think Fact are quite ahead of the game. The team here is so supportive for these guys and so understanding in terms of what some of the problems are and issues are for these guys and how that affects them on a day-to-day basis. I don't know anybody else that's that supportive.
Oh, of course, yeah, without a doubt, yeah. Because at the least it's an interest period. You know, if even at my age, it's something for me to do. And certainly a younger fella, you know, could get into it and maybe lead on to other things. But just as an interest period, it's got to, you know, have its way somewhere to it. That's my view.
They're brilliant in terms of being a kind of medical or mental health organisation and how they do that. Yeah, I think anybody that was kind of ex-forces, you know, if they've got any kind of interest or in anything that's creative, they should come down and have a go at it.
I'm lucky I've got a job out of it. Some of the lads haven't, you know what I mean? But yeah. I've asked for it. I asked for it. I went away and done a course. I've come back off the course, and you know. But I'm only getting sponsored. This is only for like 16 months. This job, I'm getting sponsored by the Poppy Factory, and once that 16 months is up, who knows what's going to happen then.
If you are a veteran and would like to get involved in Veterans in Practice, please contact either Brett or Emily at